All right, so welcome to the first video of my channel. This is South Florida Soundcheck. I am Eric. I am the lowest form of musician. I am a person who plays bass in a cover band at bars that has a rich and fulfilling day job. And I've been doing this now for a few years, and having done it, I've realized this has been a really fucking fascinating experience. I've had a chance to meet some really wonderful people. I've had a chance to meet some really fucking crazy people. And I've really had just a wonderful time with this. And I keep thinking to myself, somebody ought to do a documentary of this. Like, the people that are in the local bar scene and their dynamics and their personalities and how those stuff play out, like, it's as good as any reality TV show. And I was like, well, why don't I make that video? I should do that documentary. So this channel is kind of a response to that. I've spent a lot of my time over the last few years re-engaging with music, re-engaging with the community here, figuring out what it means to be an amateur musician at 51. And so I wanted to document that experience. So about me, I am a father of 3. I'm on my second marriage. I live in Boca Raton, Florida. I am a professor at Florida Atlantic University. I teach city planning. I do research in the domain of road safety. But as a kid, I loved music. And Gen Xers will know this. There's 80s, 90s kids. Like, music sort of was how I identified myself. I was very much into guitar. Very much into bass. So once we started playing in bands, I liked Paul McCartney. I liked bass. I loved the way that felt. So I started playing bass in bands with friends, and it was a great time. But then you grow up, you get a job, you get a career, you get kids, and those dreams of being a rock star subside. COVID came along, and as those of you know, March 2020, the world turned upside down. Like, everything went fucking nuts. And it gave us a lot of time, at least for me, it gave me a lot of time to rethink the things that I loved, the things I wanted to do. I was in my late 40s at the time. Actually, mid-40s at the time. I'm getting old. And I started thinking about, what are the things that I used to love that I miss? Because when you're isolated from people for so long, you forget the beauty of just that interaction. And it made me really miss playing music with people. And I hadn't touched a bass guitar for probably 25 years. But I loved bass as an instrument because bass is sort of like the feel of the song. Like, bass is what drives the whole thing. Like, I always play guitar. Like, I always had an acoustic guitar. I always did a lot of rhythm stuff. I play along. I loved it. But in a band, like, the bass guitar is the one that it lays the backbone down on the whole thing. And so I picked up a bass again, and I decided, you know what? I want to play bass in a band. Like, there was a lot of stuff about bass in my teens and 20s. I hadn't really understood the theory. I didn't know how the instrument worked. I just liked the way it felt. So I started off during COVID trying to figure out the theory of the instrument, figuring out how to play it well. As an amateur, I'm not a professional. I'll never be Jaco Pastorius. That's never going to happen. But why the bass lines that I loved worked? I wanted to figure that out. So, I studied that for a while, and then I started playing with bands, playing with folks. And I've been doing this now since, I guess I started playing again in bands about 2022. And I've probably played with 6 or 8 now in various capacities, either as a musician in the band, or more often than not, I wind up doing fill-in gigs for folks where their main bass player, if for one reason or another, can't make it. So I wound up building a pretty deep song list. I'm able to show up and just play gigs. Not always well. Like, whenever you show up for the first time and you're playing new songs with a new band for the first time, you're gonna make mistakes. But it's been fun. It's been fun, and it's allowed me to sort of meet this community of other people, right? Other misfits, other people sort of my age, many of whom have real jobs, some of them fulfilling, some of them maybe less fulfilling. and to kind of figure out what this dynamic is of the people. Like, you'll go to a bar and you'll see a band, right? And you have the sense of these people, they may have been playing together for a while, they're probably all friends. That's almost certainly not the case, right? When you see these bar bands, like, these things are fucking beasts of lots of crazy people, most of whom are unstable, and they're this constantly dynamic, changing force of nature. But within that, the people who these bands organize around are often really beautiful, really interesting people. And anyway, I wanted to create this channel because I was like, I want to document this whole experience. It's been really, for me, it's been really enriching. So I wanted to do that. So that's what this channel is. So what I'm going to do with this channel is I'm going to document my experiences as somebody who's a father, as somebody who has a fulfilling day job, who's pretty successful at it, who's quite happy with it, but who moonlights as an amateur musician, as an amateur bass player in local rock and roll bands in South Florida. And so I think it'll be a lot of fun. So what I plan on doing with this over time, in the early videos, I think I'm going to sort of just document the logistics of being an amateur bass player. I'm going to document, what I do with my instruments, what I do with my gear. I'll introduce gigs. But over time, I really want to bring this community together. So I want to talk about the logistics of being in a band, right? How you put a set list together. What works on a set list and what doesn't. When you're playing for drunks at bars in 1 a.m, right? What songs should you play? What songs shouldn't you play? What songs cause everything to sort of light up? Over time, I'm going to start interviewing the musicians, both in my band now. I'm playing in a band called Retroactive, but I fill in with other bands too. I fill in with a band called Snapback. I fill in with the band Last Flight Out, Soulfire. So I want to talk about those experiences too. I'll interview them. You'll get to meet these people and hopefully get a sense of what this community is like, what it's like to be an amateur musician, and why it's such a fun and rewarding experience. So I want to document this, and hopefully you guys will enjoy this too. So if you're interested in what it means to be a middle-aged dude playing bass in a rock and roll band in South Florida, I hope you will subscribe. I think it'll be fun. I hope you'll enjoy it. I know that I'm going to have a good time with this, and thank you for your time.